Some of you have heard there's been like some pushback and some people don't like it. But really what it is, it's just so popular that I think, you know, you end up getting that, right? There's, what's the word I'm looking for? Never mind, I'll get back to it. So I'm not gonna argue about whether or not it should be done. Does anyone live near an Airbnb? Or know anyone that's around you that runs an Airbnb? Has it been okay? And so you see them, right? It's recognizable. You understand. Who else? Yeah? So you live next to an Airbnb?
Not directly next.
Uh-huh. In your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. Is it a house?
It's a room off a house.
Oh, it's a room off a house. And does that bother you, or?
No.
Right? And do you wish you're doing it too?
Yes.
We'll see why. Okay, good. So again, I'm Iris Veneracion, founder of InvestClub, formerly known as InvestClub for Women. Like Christina said, I am a flipper. I love holding properties. I used to own a ton of properties out of state, and then when the market turned, I realized, oh my God, all the opportunities here in Southern California. So I sold everything I had out of state, and now everything I own is in Southern California, which is really fun. But you know, some of the stuff I used to own, I already sold all this, was like in places like Bakersfield and Barstow, and I'm like, it's like going out of state. Barstow was impossible, because it was halfway to Vegas, right? No, everyone only knows Barstow because it's halfway to Vegas. And so I would go there, collect rent, and they only paid cash. Oh, hell, we'll just go to Vegas. Yeah, it was a terrible investment. Had to sell that one. But I am an entrepreneur, and a disclaimer, I am not an Airbnb mogul. I do not work for Airbnb. I just like this platform, okay? So the goal this evening is to give you some ideas on how to cash flow maybe some expensive properties in our area. We live in LA, right? So a lot of the, you know, the price of some of these properties, you know, is very different, let's say, than out of state, right? So it's a lot easier to cash flow in other areas than, let's say, in LA. Create some additional income in places that you maybe already own or maybe are looking to buy, all right? And I'm going to share with you some real numbers that I have, share with you the reality, give you some of my experiences. If you have questions, please ask them. And at the end, hopefully, you might take serious consideration in this niche. Sound good? All right, let's do it. So, Airbnb.com. Oh my God. To me, Airbnb was the industry game changer. You guys realize they are not the only vacation rental platform, right? Before Airbnb, there was all this other stuff. Oops, what did I do? VRBO, HomeAway, FlipKey, Tripping, Base Days. Have you guys heard of this? They've all existed, I mean, many, many years before Airbnb even started. And does anyone know the story behind Airbnb, why it's called that? No. It was, okay, so the guys that founded it back in 2007, they were looking to make some extra cash. And so they actually did air mattresses in their living room. There was this big, they were all in Silicon Valley, and there was this big convention there, and all the hotels were sold out, and people had no place to stay. So they thought, oh, well, maybe you can make some extra cash. They threw some air mattresses in their living room and called it Air Bed and Breakfast, and gave them cereal as their breakfast, and they made money. Fast forward, 2011. Oh, my thing is dropping.
She did that on purpose.
Oh, you put it in there.
It was intentional.
And then in 2011, I think they just shortened the name to Airbnb. They are in 65,000 cities. They have over 4 million unique listings, and they exist in 191 countries. It's pretty amazing. Most of you have already stayed in an Airbnb. Why do you like staying in an Airbnb? Any ideas?
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper. Great.
Kitchens.
There's kitchens, right? That's the exact same reason why I ended up staying in an Airbnb. Because if you stay anywhere longer than, let's say, 2 days, sometimes I just want to be able to be at home and cook my eggs, right? Yes. You can get a whole house, right? You can have 2 people, you can have 6 people, right? Or more, right? Depending on how big the house is. Awesome. Okay, so Airbnb, I consider, is part of the new economy. Do you guys get what I'm saying? There's all these platforms that make it amazing for people today to make money. Hand over fist if you actually get in it, right? I mean, people on Amazon. Amazon is huge. How many of you wish you would have bought that stock? Oh my God. The day Amazon came out with same-day shipping, I'm like, gotta buy that stock. They figured it out, right? And now they have a 2-hour delivery in some areas. It's amazing. But now I didn't buy it because I'm a real estate investor. I suck at buying stock. But now I wish I did. Etsy, right? Uber. Oh my God, how many people are making their own economies just driving their cars? So do you guys understand that Airbnb is the natural platform that we would gravitate to, right? Because we're what? Real estate investors. This is our thing, right? So might as well go for it, Airbnb. Yes, please, go ahead.
How did Airbnb surpass these early start companies? What was it that was different about them that had them?
Okay, that's a great question. Personally, I feel it's because they made it very accessible. There's a few things Airbnb does. When you sign up as a host, when you post your listing, it's free. If I put my listing on HomeAway or VRBO, I have to pay what, 12, 13, 1,500 bucks a year? That doesn't guarantee I'm gonna get a booking, right? So on Airbnb, you can put your listing on there and you don't pay anything until someone books. How brilliant is that? And believe it or not, it's not that expensive. They charge the hosts only 3%. But isn't that awesome? You don't pay until someone actually books your stay, right? So the whole key is you got to set it up first, make it available, and then you start getting paid. And they put it right into your account. The day after they check in, it goes right into your account. Yes?
I was going to say they also, the thing that I love is people are ranked and rated and reviewed.
Yes.
And so as a host, you can actually look at people before
Yes.
you approve them staying in your home.
Yeah, you don't have to have, I know some people are really conscious about that, right? They're having strangers in their house or in their property, but you can actually vet them before you say yes, right? And they have some ways where they can verify, their identity and things like that. So the reason why I think Airbnb just blew up is they made it accessible to the masses, and the platform is so robust, made it very, very easy for people to set up on there, right? So it's all over the world now. Okay, so let's go over the first way. Rent a room in your own. How many of you live in a house or an apartment, right? This is all of us, right? So how many of you have extra room in your house or your apartment? Yeah? How many of you have an extra sofa? There are stories of people that will couch surf and pay $20, $30 to live on your sofa, right? Maybe you can give them some cereal in the morning or something and make it special, right? But people will pay to do that. I have a friend, Sue, who had a shed in her backyard. She made it really nice, and she put it on Airbnb, and that thing started renting. Her shed. She didn't put a bathroom. She disclosed that they had to go into the house, that there was no bathroom in the shed. But she made it really cute and nice, made the pictures really appealing, and people look for a different experience. Okay? And then she had this crazy idea that she was going to rent her laundry room because it fit a bed. Did you know that started renting? I mean, yes, I know it's kind of mind-blowing, but I don't know, how many of you have seen like the different types of rentals on Airbnb? All of you have been on it. They rent tree houses. What's really hot right now on Airbnb? Are the Airstreams. Do you guys know what an Airstream is? People are buying those up, remodeling them, and putting them in backyards or pieces of land where it's really popular. Malibu. Oh my God. Someone has a big plot of land in Malibu, they stick that Airstream on there, people come out, all they see are stars, and it's an amazing experience, right? Nothing like LA, but you're in LA. How awesome is that? Yes?
Movies too, right? I heard.
What's that?
To rent the place for people to make movies.
Okay, that's Okay, so she said to rent to make movies. Sure. certainly. You have to be careful. When people, I have friends that have an Airbnb in West Hills. And West Hills is just a couple cities over from what? Anyone know?
Adult industry.
Adult industry, Canoga, what is it, Van Nuys or Chatsworth or something, right? And she gets requests to do, for movies, to film movies and everything, and she always says no because she's like, I don't know what kind of movies they're gonna be there. I don't know what kind of, so yes, some people do like, a lot of my vacation rentals are by Chapman University, which is in Orange, okay? And they have a film school there. So I often get students saying, hey, can we rent the unit out, and we're not even going to spend the night. We're just going to, film there for the day. But, for me personally, I'm not comfortable with that because usually when you film, it means there's like a crew, and then there's lots of people, too many people. So it's just really up to you. On the other hand, I have another story to share with you when it came to filming. I had someone that had a house that an actual studio approached and wanted to film. But everything was for official, and they wanted it for 2 weeks. You know how much they got paid for that 2 weeks? $50,000. I'm going to share something with you right now. Did you know, ask your CPA this and confirm it, but if you rent your house that you live in for just 2 weeks, 14 days, any income that you make from that is tax-free. You rented for 15 days, now you got to report it. This person made 50 grand and didn't have to report that income. Is that amazing? But, I can't do that because I rent my Airbnbs year round. But just something to think about. I mean, there's also some tax benefits to that, okay? So where was I? Okay. So if you have, I got on this tangent, right? You can rent a sofa, you can rent a room. So whether you own the house or, just live in an apartment, could you rent out your extra room? Right? So let me give you some ideas. You can charge $35 for a room to $99 a night. Charge a cleaning fee. Yes, Joanne.
How much do you charge for couch surfing? If you had a pull-out bed for couch surfing?
Well, I've never served up a sofa, so but $20, $30? Yeah. Yes.
What I found out, because I'm looking into all that, you just go on to Airbnb and see what's in your neighborhood. And you'll see what the prices are. You'll see what people are getting. And Easy got $35. A friend of ours in North Hollywood was doing it for $45.
AZG, right, her sofa, $45.
Just for the couch. But then the apartment manager caught on, it became an issue. But I'm just saying, which we talked about. Yeah. But so I went into my neighborhood because I live in horse country, and it's about $60 a night for the couch, up to $300 for the house.
I'm buying a new couch.
And look, you're going to learn, I run my Airbnb like a business. Now, for some of you, you have that personality, right? You want to host your people. You want to entertain. How many of you have been to another country where you actually were able to meet locals? And the locals took you out. I mean, does that make it special? Well, when they're staying at your house or your Airbnb, do you think you can make it special for someone there and really create an awesome experience? Yeah, you can. You have that power. So it's really up to you. I tell people it's as much interaction as you want or as little. Okay? I do my best because, like I said, I run it like a business. I don't want to talk to anybody. Now, I'm super friendly. I do it over emails. I make sure I give recommendations in the area and stuff like that. But I don't go out of my way to meet anyone because it takes too much time, right? And most of my Airbnbs are not in my house. I own rentals that I've converted to Airbnbs, right? So I can maximize the profit on my rents. And so just to give you an idea, we'll probably get to that. But, we'll get to it. I'm going to show you some of the market rents and then what I'm making now that I'm Airbnb-ing. Okay? You guys like to see that? Okay. So again, you can meet great people. You can give a unique experience. And what's really important about Airbnb, why I think it's so powerful, is that it's a rating system, right? It's all this, there's actually a social pressure in the Airbnb community to rate the people that are staying with you and for the people to rate you as a host. So going in, if you're a host an asshole, Or are they really super cool and friendly? And you know going in, is your guest, have they been rated well in the past? Or, were some of the comments, were they messy or whatever? You can see all that before you accept them, okay? All right, so charge a cleaning fee. Again, if you're sharing a space, sharing a bathroom, just make sure your listing shows that, right? So people know what they're getting into. There's nothing worse, I'm sure, for all of you to get into your rental, right, your Airbnb, and not having it be anything like the pictures, right? So you want to have full disclosure, and you want to be, as transparent as you can for your guests, and you would want that too if you're staying somewhere, right? Okay, so here's an example. This is a private room with a shared bath in orange, okay? So my friend lives in this unit. It's close to the orange circle. Anyone know that? It's in Orange County. It's by Chapman University. The cost to set up this extra room, she had to buy a bed and a new mattress and some sheets, and she got like a lamp, a dresser from Craigslist, got a couple things from IKEA, so it cost her like $800, right? She lives in this unit. She rents out her extra room when she's out of town, okay? So, and sometimes when she's there, when she wants to make some extra money. So she charges $60 when she's there for this extra room. And when she's out of town, she'll charge $99, and they basically have the whole house to themselves. Not her room, of course, right? And so she does this. She charges a $15 cleaning fee, and it nets her $600 to $700 a month, and she maybe rents it 8 to 10 days a month. How many of you could use an extra $600-800 for some place that you already live in, or already pay the mortgage, or already pay your rent, right? And it did cost her a little money to set up, but she bought do you understand you can buy like a used bed frame? Do you understand you can even buy a used mattress? It seems gross, but think about it. When you stay at a hotel, you think that's a new mattress every No, right? Okay, private room in the first floor of a home. So this is another friend. This is the view in her backyard. It's pretty awesome. Here, you're looking funny. Did you stay here? They're like, Anyway, they already had an extra bed, or no, they actually bought a bed. They got a mini fridge and a microwave and a cutting board and got a sofa and put a rug. They rented the entire downstairs. It was her office before, okay, but they rented the entire downstairs with a view like this, and there's a pool, all right? They rent out the extra room for $70 a night. They charge a $50 cleaning fee. Because guess what? Guess who cleans that unit? They do. Because it's in their house, okay? This house, oh, geez, I did it again. This house nets them, net, not gross, nets them $2,800 extra a month. That's like half their mortgage. Right? This house it's a nice house. It's like $1 million house. But that's like, or I don't know how much, I don't know what they're buying. But that's some $2,800 a month. Do you think that would help in your mortgage? Help pay your mortgage? Right? Now it's in their house, and it's on the first floor, and they kind of make it separate, right? But it's and they've taken on the extra job of actually cleaning it, right? They don't have to do that, but they get to keep that money. So it's extra income for them. And they've got it down to the point that when someone checks out, it only takes them an hour to clean it. So $50 for an hour's worth of work. I don't like working for my time, obviously, but maybe worth it for some people, right? Okay. Another way, maybe you already rent a place, or maybe you already own one. So could you just rent out the whole place? Absolutely, right? So I converted some of my long-term rentals into short-term. So you can do the entire house. And again, even if you live there, you can rent the entire place when you leave town, right? All right, and then some area, so I looked this up. We're in Pasadena, right? Pasadena, okay. So in Pasadena, did you know that in order to do short-term rentals, firstly, if you check on Pasadena, you're not allowed to do it here. No short-term rentals. Yes, so check this out. You have to be in the house. You have to be in the house. And I think the regulation here is you can do, if you're not there, you have to live in the property at least 9 months out of the year, and then you can rent it when you're not there. So maybe you're going on summer vacation with your kids, right, for that 3 months. That's okay if you're not there. Actually, Airbnb, again, I mentioned, has a really robust site. So if you actually go on their site, they've compiled lists of different cities, okay, and what the regulations are. Yes?
How much is like things disappearing an issue, especially?
Great question. We'll talk about that, okay? So again, 9 months, you have to be there, you have to live there 9 months out of the year, and if you're not there, that's the rule if you're not there. But if you live in the house, you can rent it out. You can rent the room, just like what we talked about. And guess what? You don't need to get a business license in Pasadena. But what they want you to do is they want you to register with the city to do what? Pay your tax, right? They have an occupancy, transient occupancy tax. So just so long as you register it, you can pay your taxes on a quarterly basis. But you don't need to get a license, right?
Airbnb will collect the Pasadena tax. They won't do it in LA County.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do your own in LA County like Altadena, but Pasadena, Airbnb actually does all that for you.
And who pays for that tax? The guests. It's not even your extra fee. The guests have to pay for that. How awesome is that? Right? Okay. Awesome. So this is a house in the amazing Hawaiian Gardens. Anyone heard of that? Hmm? What is Hawaiian Gardens known for? That's it, a casino. Hawaiian Gardens is a city in LA. It's about a 1 square mile, and it's in the middle of nothing. The only thing that's there is the casino. I remember when I set this up, someone mentioned this. How do you know what to charge? Well, just like anything, you want to pull comps, right? And guess where you can pull comps? Go right to Airbnb, type in whatever city you're in, and see what pops up, right? I was a little concerned because when I put in Hawaiian Gardens, guess how many vacation rentals were there? 0. And I'm like, oh my God, is it illegal here? What's going on, right? Well, how come there's no vacation rentals in Hawaiian Gardens? And I went and did it anyway, right? But what it turns out to be is there was vacation rentals all over the place. But because what Hawaiian Gardens is 1 square mile, they were in Norwalk, they were in Cerritos, they were in Long Beach, they were in all surrounded around it, just nothing in Hawaiian Gardens. But ideally, the location was there. Do you know Hawaiian Gardens is 5 miles from Knott's Berry Farm? So you guys still know what that is? It still exists? Yeah. And it's like, 8 miles from, what's the other big attraction? Disneyland. Did you know that when foreigners look at where Hawaiian Gardens is, it's right in the middle of everything? You know the other big attraction in California is, in LA? What do you Universal. Universal. So when people come, I thought they were going to come because I was going to get all the gamblers in the tournaments, right? I was like marketing to, if you're in a tournament, come stay here. It's walking distance, right? We got no gamblers. We got people that came to Disneyland, that went to Universal Studios, wanted to go to the beach, wanted to go to Long Beach. I'm like, you can't go in the water there, right? But they were still coming. It was crazy. So cost to set up. I had to totally furnish this house because when the tenants moved out, there was nothing in it. And then I put AC in it. So I spent a little money to make it cool. Market rents in this area is about $2,000. First year out of the gate, the thing was making over $3,600 a month, okay? This is the only business I know that you can be cash flow positive in the first month. It is insane. I think one of my most exciting moments is when I start my listing and then wait. And Airbnb has, Airbnb is really good too because it's on all the platforms. Like you get it in your phone, you get it in your iPad. I mean, the notifications are really easy, right? And it has this distinct sound, and you're just like, ooh, money, ooh, money, ooh, it's really cool. Yes?
Iris, do you use their automatic pricing structure?
No.
Okay, so that was,
Someone else said no.
okay, so what do? How do you determine the seasonality?
Well, I look at their pricing structure and I say no, like $30, $40 more. So Airbnb again, it's so robust that they do this thing where they have, it's called smart pricing. So based on all the algorithms of people staying in the area, they figure out, oh, well, this is how you should price it. But I always find that it's a lot lower than what I get, right? So I never use a smart pricing. Do you use a smart pricing?
I have it right now, yeah. And then, but I set my minimum higher than what they set it at. But then, like, yeah, I'm just not sure if I'm happy with it because I just don't know. But I didn't know how to judge the seasonality, like
So what I
more in August versus May.
Okay, so what's really great about Airbnb is that you can go in there in a daily basis and change your pricing if you need to. I'll give you a little tip. You know, it's all web driven, right? So, you know, so when someone searches in your area, it'll pull up the available listings. So when someone's looking and they put in specific dates, if you're booked, your listing won't come up, right? Because there's just so much to look at. One thing I did learn is if you're running Airbnbs, go into your calendar and just press it. Just make sure you're in there touching it somehow, and it drives your rating to the top, your listing to the top, just by touching it. So with this smart pricing thing, what I usually do is I like to set my own pricing. And like maybe 2 days in advance, 2 or 3 days, if it's not booked, I'll lower it and then get it booked. So you can do it on an individual day. Like I like to charge more on the weekends, right, than on the weekdays. So you can totally customize that according to what you want. Like in some cases, seasonality, right? Chapman University, graduation time. Oh my God, everyone wants to book. So you raise your prices, you get more money. It's pretty awesome. Hey, Bob, what's going on? Okay. So yeah, so on this one, you know, we charge a higher cleaning fee. You know, more people can be in it and charge more on the weekends. So just an example. Okay, rent a place you already own, buy the rooms. Anyone do that? Yes. Yes, yeah. Yeah. No, not necessarily. No, this one is fairly new. So part of the thing in the beginning, you know, you want to get ratings, right? You want people to rate your listing, right? And the better ratings you get, and the more you accumulate, you know, the higher you go up there, and then the more less vacancy you get, right? What's your vacancy rate? Well, Hawaiian Gardens, you know, believe it or not. Okay, so that's a great question. I'm sorry?
After you've gotten a higher rent already, what's your vacancy?
My vacancy rate in Hawaiian Gardens, I would say it's like 90%. We're not always occupied. I'll tell you what, our condo, for example, in Orange is 100% occupied. Sometimes I'm more than 100%. How do I do that? Because in certain times of the season, like the summer, I have a strict cancellation policy. If you cancel on me, I'm keeping your money. And guess what? It's going to get rented out that very next day. So you can actually create more than 100% occupancy. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so just depending on where your location is, some are better than others. That's just the truth, right? Yes?
If you have a 115 nightly fee and they stay for 1 night, are they still paying 125
Yes.
cleaning fee?
Yes. So usually with that, you know, I usually recommend at least a 2-night stay, you know, so you can kind of spread the thing. But people will do it. People will do it, right? So a 125 and a 115 and a 125, that's like 2 something? I can't add right now. But, you know, can that still be cheaper than your local hotel? Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I was just going to ask, do you have a minimum 2-day stay or 3-day stay, or it depends on the holiday weekend?
Yeah, so some of my places, I do require, you know, 2-night minimum because it's too much of a hassle to get the cleaner in and out, right? But some of the places, like the one I'm going to talk about next, is in a home where a couple of the rooms are being rented out. 1-night stay is fine because I have a home host that's in that property and she doesn't mind cleaning it. I mean, you know how easy it is to clean after someone's been there for 1 night? It's totally basic, right? So, I'm sorry? Put away the cereal, right? Okay, any other questions? Yes?
Who are the people that are cleaning it? Like, how are you, who are the...
Okay, yeah. So you can hire cleaning services. Write this down. Made this, M-A-I-D, this. I don't use this cleaning service because I have my own personal cleaner that does all of our Airbnbs, and she's really good. and have a backup cleaner. That's my recommendation. But there are services that specialize in Airbnb, and Made This is one of those places. What I love about them, because my friend uses this one, is when they clean it up, they put you on another website called Home On. So when you're their client, you have to be on this other website. And after they clean, they take pictures so you can see how they set it up, right? Like, so in a hotel, you want the pillows a certain way, blah, blah, blah. So they do that so you can see that they've completed the cleaning. So it's kind of nice, right? T-H-I-S, yes, Made This.
How much do they charge?
It depends on how big your thing is.
Is it reasonable that you use?
It is reasonable. They have one in WeHo that's a studio, $85 for that cleaning. Do I use it? No, I have a personal cleaner. Yeah.
Oh, because you have so many of business, Airbnb business, so you just hire a yourself?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah. And so here's the great thing about the cleaners, you guys. It's not that, hey, there's a cleaning tomorrow. You got to go over there and get your butt over there, right, and clean the house. People book your thing way in advance. My cleaner has her schedule way in advance that she plans her vacations. I'm not going to be here. This, but there's no cleanings, right? So she can leave, right? Or I just, she tells me so that I can get my backup cleaner if needed. All right? So it's not one of these, oh my God, I got to hurry up and go there and find someone right away. You have your schedule like way in advance because people book way in advance. All right. Yes, absolutely. Yes. You want it cleaned immediately because even if no one's booked that day, someone could book that day, right? So, our check-in time, our checkout time is 11, and our check-in time is any time after 4, okay? So yeah, even if I don't have a booking that next day, I want it cleaned immediately because someone could book it that day.
Do you do yourself, or you still hire
To clean? No, I don't like to clean. You see these nails? Yes, sir.
How much extra time do you think you spend having them maintain an Airbnb rental versus like?
Oh, great question. Okay. I have a slide that's coming up on how many hours I spend on my Airbnb. So I'll tell you right now, though, so we'll just skip over that slide. But, I was running 7 Airbnbs, and I wanted to figure out how much time was I spending on this a week, right? Running these 7 Airbnbs, increasing my cash flow, yada, yada, yada. And so I tracked it for a week. So this is very cursory, study. But I found that I literally spent 3 hours, okay? 3 hours. And that time is spent writing reviews, accepting or declining, reservations, right? And Airbnb has this thing where you can even do instant book. You don't have to do any of it, right? But I'm kind of a little bit of a control freak when it comes to, because I'll tell you some certain red flags that I don't like to see. That's why I want to see it first before I say yes or no. But it's so easy. When the reservation comes up, look at it, boom, hit accept. You're done, right? So the majority of the time is spent writing reviews and answering questions. That's it. Okay? Yes?
Is it the person that you use for your cleaning service, are they the ones that inform you of any damage that might have
Yes, always. Yes, I get a full report. Oh, trust me, I get an earful if there's something bad. Yeah. Yes?
So is that check-in and check-out time determined by Airbnb?
Nope.
And is that,
Absolutely not.
okay, so then there's also the part of the pricing structure or the smart tool for pricing? Do they have a pricing for cleaning?
No,
Is there a
you set that.
You set the cleaning?
Now, if everyone in the area is charging $100 for cleaning, don't charge $300. No one will book your place, right? Yeah. Yes, Yvonne.
So Iris, what I want to know about is how you do this without meeting them in person. How are you doing this when this isn't near your house?
Got it. Absolutely. We'll get to that. Okay. All right. Let me just get through this real quick. All right. So another example. Again, this is a home share. Okay. So I have a home host that's living in the house for reduced rent, right? And I'm giving her the opportunity to host the people that are coming in because I'm renting 2 of the 2 of the other rooms. There's actually 3 other rooms. Maybe I should rent that one too. But 2 other rooms, right? So she has to greet them, let them in, and she wants to clean, right? She's already there, so she gets the $25 cleaning fee every time they leave, right? And so you can do this, let's say in your own house, but if you're not close, it's gonna be a little hard. I recommend someone to actually be there, and we call that a home host, right? So we had to set up, I love these things right here, right? These little, what do you call those things? Luggage things. Oh man, they're so great. And usually I like to put a desk and obviously a nice bed, right? And linens and towels and stuff like that. So this is $45 a night in a house. 2-night minimum. Actually, that's a mistake. Here we just do a 1-night minimum now, and it's worked. And oftentimes we'll get people that are going to Disneyland, or believe it or not, we get a lot of people that work in Irvine that live in Northridge. And so they stay there the entire week and then go home on the weekends because they don't want to deal with that traffic. So a lot of business people, guess what? They don't party. They're totally easy guests. And every now and then they'll go in the kitchen and microwave something, right? And so, yeah, this is cool. And then the next one, same thing in the same house, right? And they share a bathroom. People totally dig it. This one we charge a little bit less because it's smaller. That's it, right? And it's rented all the time, yes?
The ones that you just host a room, is it like shared kitchen as well?
Yes, absolutely. Everything is shared. Well, just the room is private, right? And you put a lock in the room so they can lock it up while they're gone. Yeah, you give them that convenience. Yeah.
It's more an observation and a question, but when I've gone on Airbnb, one of the things as a customer that bothers me is when there's what I perceive as a high cleaning fee relative to the rental price.
Okay.
Is there an artificial lowering of the rental price being made up with the cleaning fee to be competitive when people are looking for a room?
I don't know.
It's like when I saw your example of your cleaning fee is in excess of the nightly rental fee. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just boost your rental fee per night and keep your cleaning fee lower?
You can do that. Yeah.
But
you can do that.
It doesn't affect your rental.
No. Look, part of my cleaning fee, I'll tell you this, is dictated by my cleaner. She's like, oh no, you got 3 bedrooms, I got all these towels to wash? Oh God, this is gonna take some time. So I'm gonna charge you $125 to clean that house, for example. So okay, fine, let's make a deal, $125. And guess what? I pass that on to the guests.
Do you make money on the cleaning fee at all?
No, I don't need to. No, I give that to the cleaner. But you can if you wanted to, but like what Bob pointed out, you don't wanna have crazy cleaning fees, because someone may just compare and say at the end of the day, I'm paying more here because the cleaning fee is exorbitant. Right, Bob? Yeah.
Do you use smart keys or like a
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you guys want to know that part. How do I not deal with these people, right? Absolutely. Okay, let's just get to it, all right? Let's just get to it. All right. All right. Oh, man, we won't get to it yet. Okay, there's systemization involved. Yes, Joanne?
Can you explain what you have, like market rents? What do you mean by market rents?
Meaning, if I were to just rent the room out, okay, I can charge. If I go on Craigslist, I can see what the going rate is for rooms in the area. And people are willing to pay $600 for a room in a house that they're sharing with other people.
So that's how you calculate your rates per night or per day?
I'm sorry?
You calculate your rates?
That's how I calculate my rates? Well, sometimes I see what's in the area and what people are charging, and I want to be competitive, right? And believe it or not, sometimes I'll look at other stuff and I'm like, oh, people are paying that for that? Oh, it's kind of gross, And I can pay more, I can rent more, right?
How do you know it's really being rented if it's exorbitant and it's not in line with what you're offering?
You can see, sometimes you can see their calendars and see if they're fully booked or not, right? Yeah, so, yes. Anyone? Got it? Did I answer all the questions? Yes.
But in a way, can't you just use trial and error?
Absolutely. You guys, Airbnb has all these things in place that they'll set up your pricing and all that. You don't have to follow anything, right? You can create your own thing. This is your business. Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Okay. All All right, so let's just talk about that real quick. How do we systemize it? I think what's really important in this business, if you want to run it like a business, is there's 3 keys of systemization that I really follow, okay? Number 1, you have to have a good cleaner, all right? That is like the biggest stress. Would you agree, girls, is that especially if you're cleaning your own house, you know, you got to come back because they're checking out at 11 and you got to whatever, right? And then you got to do laundry, right?
Sorry, I don't know if you're gonna get to this. Do you have specific things like, because even if you have a cleaner, sometimes they are not turning it over the way you want them to turn it over. Like, do you have checklists that they?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you set them up with checklists. But this is how it's supposed to look when you're done. And that's why I like that Made This service, because they send you pictures when it's done, right? Okay, the second key to systemization, you've got to have smart locks. And if you don't want to spend on the smart locks, get at least a lock box, all right? A smart lock is one of those electronic locks, so they can unlock it with their phone, right? Like a Sentry, like a Slodge, Kwikset has one now, August locks. There are some lock companies that actually work with Airbnb, and you can just look on their website and see what's compatible, that when they book it, Airbnb will email them the code. And when their listing is done, the code no longer works. How awesome is that? You never have to go there, okay? You have to go to the Airbnb website under Help, right? And you can just see compatible smart locks if you want to go that way. But if you don't want to spend the money, just get a lockbox. You give them the code the day before they arrive, and you tell them, leave the key in the lockbox. That's it, bottom line. And you never have to see them, okay? The third key to systemization that I recommend is Airbnb has a great way where you can do emails. Automated, there's a lot of automation in Airbnb, but I'm going to say templated emails, right? So there is an email that goes out the day before they arrive with very specific instructions on how to get in. It's also an Airbnb, but this gets emailed or text to them, right? I send another email the day after they arrive. Hey, you know, did you get everything? Is there anything you need? You know, did you get in okay, or how do you like the place? Right? Just to kind of strike up that conversation so they know you're checking in on them and that you care, right? It's a saved template email, so it's not automatic. You got to press a button to send it off, okay? And then the day before they leave, send another automated email. Just want to remind you, these are our checkout instructions. And checkout is at 11, right? And by the way, we do our very best to get 5-star reviews. Do you mind leaving one for us? You ask them to leave you a 5-star review. Boom. Easy. Yes? So those are the 3 keys to systemization. Do you use all those? Awesome. It makes it really easy. I never have to go there. Okay. Master lease someone else's home. Anyone do that? I have some friends. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I have some friends that have a couple Airbnbs in West Hollywood. I don't know if you know this, but the hotel lobby in Westwood is very powerful. They shut it down. You are not allowed to have Airbnbs in West Hollywood. It is so hot there, I'm telling you. They make on their studios that they have leases on for $1,300 a month. They make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month. That thing is 100% occupied, one night minimum stay in West Hollywood. Now, some of you are like, oh, but it's illegal there, right? You're not supposed to do it because they banned it in West Hollywood. I'm telling you what's happening. Do you know West Hollywood said, if we catch you, we're going to give you a fine. Your fine is $35 or whatever it is. Second time we catch you, your fine is $100. Third time we catch you, it's a misdemeanor. Don't do it. Oh, meantime, they're making $2-3 grand a month. So how are they doing that? I'm not telling you to go out and do a bunch of illegal things, right? It only matters if someone gets pissed off, right? No. Yeah, you're going to definitely have an issue because there's like a governing party, right? But there are single family homes that are in HOAs, right? Could they come down on you? Absolutely. Question, Peter?
So you don't need to have a deed to do this.
You don't even need to have the deed.
And if somebody
Sublease.
was to try to crawl up your leg, they basically would go after the person that you sublease.
Okay. So, this begs the question, like, why would anyone let you sublease your house and then let you Airbnb it, right? Because maybe you don't want to deal with all those guests, right? Maybe you're afraid that your vacationers are going to thrash your place. Is that possible? You've all heard it, right? I can tell you this. What I love about Airbnb is they have a $1 million home host guarantee. So that means up to $1 million, if they mess up your place, they will pay you back for any of the damages. And I know they pay back. This happened to one of my friends that has an Airbnb in Malibu. Major frat party. They ruined everything. Airbnb paid for everything. Now, what they did lose, or what happened was, they did lose like the next couple of stays because they had to go and repair everything. So guess what Airbnb also implemented? They have a host protection insurance, $1 million as well. So let me give you an example of what this means. Let's say you're in a condo, right? And your guest sets a fire in your condo, and maybe, or I don't want to say fire. Let's say floods your place, right? And the flood goes into the next unit, and now their place is flooded, and now the HOA is on your butt, and the people that own the other unit are on your butt. They have a host protection insurance for any liability brought on by third parties. $1 million. Is that awesome? Okay, now for those of you that are still afraid, should you get insurance, more insurance? You can. There is vacation rental insurance. Question, yes?
Do you charge security deposit
Yes.
on all of them, or?
Yes.
My question was, for insurance, do you have to let insurance company know what you're doing, or they won't?
Yes, you have specific vacation rental insurance.
Otherwise, they won't.
Yes, they may not cover you. Are there days that maybe you might have vacant? Right? What if your place catches fire then? Right? The Airbnb home host, $101 million guarantee is only for actual booked stays. For some of you, you may also post on VRBO or HomeAway. They don't have this same insurance. So you better have vacation rental insurance. Okay? Yes?
How does the security deposit work?
Security deposit. So I charge, let's say, in the Wine Gardens house, I charge a $250 security deposit. So the first things first, if they mess up my lampshade, or maybe a kid pees on the mattress, right, and it went all the way through, I'm going to charge them for that. And so in the first 14 days, you take it from their security deposit. Now, if anything exceeds that, I go straight to Airbnb and say, they did this. You take pictures, you submit your claim, and Airbnb is very responsive. Okay? Yes?
Sorry, and you'll charge for ruined pillows?
Absolutely. Oh my God, we'll have wedding parties. I'm like, makeup everywhere. I'm like, Jesus, I have to replace all these sheets. Yeah.
You charge them for all of them?
I charge them for it. But here's the key. This is where your cleaner will help. You take pictures of that stuff, and you send it to me so I can put my claim in. And oftentimes when you give them evidence, they don't argue it. They're like, oh yeah, we ruined it. Yes?
How does the Airbnb make money?
Oh, great question. So as a host, when they book, they charge you 3%. Okay? And when that guest books, guess how much they charge the guest? Anywhere from 6 to 20%. I don't know how they come up with that algorithm, but they get paid both ways, baby. So they don't feel sorry about Airbnb, let me tell you that. Okay, so I will book something, and before they confirm the reservation, it'll show them. It'll break down for the person booking. I mean, if you stayed in Airbnb, you've seen it, right? This is this fee, this is that fee, and you either confirm or deny, right? Yes.
For the makeup issues, I was a home host, my wife and I, three-bedroom house,
Uh-huh.
rented out 2 rooms, and we had 700 guests
What?
throughout that year. We're
Oh.
about LAX, so
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so with the makeup issue, we labeled everything and we had specific makeup removal towels.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And so right there.
That's a great idea.
Towels and put a label like for makeup removal, and that really helped.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Like just like towels that you were gonna, like private towels you were gonna use.
Let me share with you. So proper insurance is something that is vetted by HomeAway. So when HomeAway doesn't have this $1 million home host guarantee, so if you're posting on HomeAway, they say, okay, you can get this insurance, proper insurance. Okay, it's vacation rental insurance. CBiz Vacation Rental Insurance is another specific company that deals with vacation rental. Foremost, I really like. You can go to your Allstate, you can go to your State Farm, but some of them won't do vacation rental coverage. You have to specifically tell them it's vacation rental. Foremost, I like. I'll give you an example. I have a 3-unit that I do a master lease on. Someone else is doing Airbnb. So our insurance, normal insurance, is $1,500 a year. Okay, so then we went and looked at policies. We got a quote, Lloyd's in London, $3,000 a year for vacation rental insurance. And then we went to Foremost, which they've insured some of my other properties on flips, $2,000 a year. So, I mean, it's a little more expensive, but it's manageable. And if that isn't good enough, they now have services like this. This is slice.is. This is like a pay-per-use insurance. So $7 on average a night. So if you have one of those that's not rented all the time, you just, turn this on and turn this off, right? Pay the extra. Guess who can pay that extra $7? Bill it to your guests, right? It's just part of whatever your thing is, what you charge for the night, right? So they have this insurance available. So in case you're worried about that kind of stuff, you can have it.
Sorry, and you also charge them on all of yours, you charge them their TOT, like their occupancy tax separate as well.
Yes, okay, so someone mentioned in LA, in a lot of cities in LA, Airbnb has taken the time to collect it up front. And guess what? You never see it. It goes on their side and then they pay it. Right? In some cities, you have to set it up, like Pasadena, they want you to register. Well, let me ask you this. If you didn't register, what are you sending? I'm not saying, okay, yeah. Pay your taxes, okay? Right? But yeah, you can collect it and then put it aside. Yeah, charging the tenant, yes, absolutely. Okay, buy a home with an intent to do Airbnb. There is something really cool. Now, okay. So I have a couple tips about this. Make sure that your market rents cover. Okay, I'm not a big speculator. I like to go in with a vetted risk. I like to calculate my projected rents at 50% occupancy. Is it usually better? Absolutely. But I will look at the numbers based on 50% occupancy. If those numbers work, then I might consider doing an Airbnb on it. Okay? Other benefits, you can ride the appreciation. What's the market doing right now? Right? Just ride that appreciation, and cash flow it in the meantime. Guess what? If you keep it over a year, you have lowered capital gains, right? How many flippers in the house? Right? So like if you just keep it for a year, lower capital gains is a little benefit. And if you're stuck in a property, right? I had a friend that was doing a property in Balboa Island in Newport, okay? High-end property, over $2 million takeout price. That sat on the market for a minute. But guess what? It was staged with real furniture, and they Airbnb. They get like $4,000 a week in Balboa Island? So, it helped with a little bit of cash flow. And when I don't think it's sold yet, but, now they can sell it with like proven rental history, right? With the Airbnb, how awesome is that, right? So if you don't get your price, well, maybe you can Airbnb it for a minute. Right? And then sell it. All right, so we do that. Now, this is what I'm really excited about. Okay, this is going to be worth you coming tonight. Have you guys heard of ADU? Yes. What does it mean? Really? Oh my God, you guys know what this is? Accessory dwelling unit. You can create an ADU. Did you know that California is in a housing crisis? Did you know this? Really, did you know this? As of January 1st, 2017, they passed laws that said, hey, we need to make more units because we are so behind in California. There's too many people here. We need to house them. Do you know they made it easier? The state of California made it easier for you to create these accessory dwelling units, right? So you can create a structure in your SFR property, create a structure from ground up if you want, or, oh my God, you can convert your garage. They're making it legal. Do you remember, like, when I first started flipping, I flipped in Santa Ana. Every garage was converted and illegal, right? And when I would buy it, I'd have to tear it all down, right? Because it was illegal. Now, if you have those units, you can legalize it. They want you to do it. And one of the hardest things, what I'm so excited about, can you tell I'm excited about this? One of the most exciting things about this is when I've done this, when I've flipped and stuff, I always want to see if I can add value. Adding value is the value add is the play right now in this market, right? Whenever you can add square footage or add more, living space that you can rent out, whether it's to your extended family or if you want to rent it out to Airbnb or, just an extra tenant, right? Where you can add value and create more income for people is really exciting, right? This is the play right now. This is where you can sell your houses for more, right? Now they're saying, we're going to fast track you, because here's the most important thing. When I would look at trying to do this or trying to convert a garage in the past that was illegal, the city would come down on you and say, oh, if you're going to do extra units, you got to have parking. You got to create another garage. There's no room, right? You got to have setback laws and all this stuff. They're making it easy so you can actually get that done, right? And with less restrictions, right? So if any of you have an extra unit or a shed or a garage, well, not a shed. You could probably do it in a shed, but you can do it. Yes?
So if I wanted to convert my garage to an ADU, do I have to put in a bathroom, and about how much do you think?
No, it doesn't. You know what? If you look at the stuff, you don't have to put a bathroom if you didn't want to. I would, right, just to make it convenient. But yeah, I would.
How much do you think it would cost to convert a garage to an ADU?
It depends on how nice you do it. Well, I can tell you this, to actually create a structured garage, it depends on your contractor. You could probably do one for $15,000 to $20,000 if you do all like the plumbing and do everything to code, because you have to, part of this is getting it legalized, right? So everything has to be to code. You still have to go through the city. They have to approve all your work, right? So you probably do it for, well, if you already have an existing garage, it won't be that much. 10 grand, if that? Yeah. Okay. Yes? Question? Oh, over here. Sorry. Yes.
I was doing some research on this recently. Mm-hmm. There's even like companies that just specialize in building.
And building this, yeah. Yeah. And what are they charging?
It was a little pricier than the ones that we just said. It was more like in the 100,000 range. Mm. But like, it looked like if Apple was to make an ADU, that's what it looked like. It was like really, really nice, really plush. Mm-hmm. It was called the cover.com.
It was what?
Cover. It was the
cover. Oh, it was on the cover.
Yeah, that was the name of the company.
Oh, cover. Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay. So there are some regulations that say, like, if you're going to do an ADU, it can't exceed 1,200 square feet or 50% of your house, right? So if you're going to make it 1,200, it can't be more than 50% of the original size of the house. Here's another great thing. They're even allowing you to do junior ADUs. What's that? Well, that is when it's actually in the footprint of your existing home, just so long as it has a separate entrance. Actually, I take that back. Joanne, I think when it's an accessory, like a separate unit, I think you do have to have its own bathroom. But when it's a junior, you don't need to have its own bathroom.
The garage is actually attached, but it's got its own entrance.
Yeah, so you can do it.
So it would be a junior ADU?
No, that would still be an ADU. That would just be an ADU. Okay, but no, so the junior ADUs are already existing in the footprint of the actual house. So you can actually like do like a set, some houses I run into this, right? You can like, oh, this is great. You can just section this off, lock this door, and now you have a separate entrance, right? You can legalize that.
Oh my gosh, I already have that.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Awesome. Okay, so take a picture of this. I'm so excited. I wanted to share this with you. So this is the website to the housing department, and they give on this website all the stipulations on accessory dwelling. Oh, sorry, I'll get out of the way. Accessory dwelling unit. Christina has it. Okay. Oh, SHTML. Sorry, SHTML. They have this video. It's an hour and a half going over the nuts and bolts of what you can do to set up your ADU in California. I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, take advantage of this because I don't think it's going to be here forever. This is a great opportunity. California is in a housing crisis. We can help as investors, right? And if you're smart, maybe you can make some extra money doing some short-term rentals. Now, I did see some provision in here that, some cities may not allow you to do short-term rentals, but we're investors, right? We ask for forgiveness, not permission? Okay, I see. This is another thing I want to mention. This is very interesting. I'm just going to mention this really quick because I think it's coming. This is more popular. It started in San Francisco. It's this website. It's called common.com. And instead, it's kind of changing the whole short-term vacation rental thing. Common is about co-living, okay? So, there's like this, in downtown, they built all these really nice apartment buildings, really expensive, right? You have all the amenities in the world, the gym, the coffee in the morning and all this stuff, right? And then, people go there, it's really cool, and then, 2 weeks later, they never use anything. Right? So they're starting this thing. It's really popular in New York and San Francisco, but it's this idea of co-living. I don't know if it's like a millennial thing, they're really into it, but they're nice houses, and they live with each other, and they each rent a room, but they coexist. It's kind of like a group home, like college. It's kind of like real world without the TVs or the cameras, right? And but I want you to think about this as investors. Could this be like an opportunity? Could you get some nice real estate in LA and maybe set up a co-living kind of situation? And guess what? They're doing these co-livings in houses that have no amenities. They're just nice and newly done and modern, right? And people are digging it. So just an idea. Yes? Yes, okay, so I'm getting to this, right? Okay, so another way to increase your cash flow, you can become a co-host. Okay, so maybe for some of you, you're like, I can't do this, I don't own any of my own property. We talked about maybe doing a sublease or a master lease, and doing it with someone. Oh, a little idea, that I know has worked in the past is you tell an owner, just say, look, I'll rent it from you long-term, I'll be your long-term tenant, and how about this? Why don't I give you 20% of my profits that I make on Airbnb? So we'll do this market rent thing, and I'll pay you a 20% extra on whatever profit I make. Would you consider that if you were the owner of the house, maybe, without having to do any of the hassle? Could this be an opportunity for you if you already do some Airbnbs, right? And it's close to you, right? Okay. You can be a co-host. So if this is something already that you do, you can co-host other people's homes. So you can set up listings and answer, questions, collect payments. Airbnb makes it so easy that if you were a co-host, they'll even pay you according to whatever your agreement is. So you can say, hey, home host, you take 20% and the rest of it comes to me, 80% or whatever you want to set it up. Airbnb makes it that easy. So could you make money that way? Yeah.
If you're subleasing and you're hosting, someone's subleasing your apartment complex and then their Airbnb hosting it, does the protection policy still cover the sublease if there's damage done?
So you are the host. You own the property or you own the lease?
I lease the property
okay.
And I'm subleasing it on Airbnb.
You're subleasing it on Airbnb. So does apartment know that you're doing that? No. And you're asking if you're actually covered by the home host guarantee?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It's a good question. I would double check with Airbnb, but it's my understanding that if you were a host or a co-host, right? Whether you're the owner or not, the hosts are covered. Airbnb is really good with this. You know, they do a lot of reach out in communities, especially where there's been a lot of pushback. So yes, you probably could get Airbnb involved. Okay? They do a lot of community outreach. Okay? It's a huge platform. Yes, Peter.
So if you don't have the deed, can you be the lost payee on that insurance policy?
Yeah.
Or would it pay to the person on the deed?
It's pretty specific, Peter. I don't want to answer because I don't know exactly, but it's something that you probably could ask Airbnb directly, and they'll let you know about that. Again, you know, if it doesn't allow you to sleep at night, I actually just recommend just get your additional vacation rental insurance, right? Because God knows, don't be the lucky one where something happens when there's no tenant in there, right? And then none of that insurance applies, right? So. I only do Airbnb because I find it so easy. But a lot of people do use other websites, so they'll post it on several places. So here's another great thing that Airbnb does really well. You can sync your calendars with other vacation platforms. So if you're on HomeAway, you can sync the calendars so you avoid that double booking thing. I think that's really awesome. Yes.
I have another good question. On average, how much would you say that your cap rate increases using Airbnb just versus traditional renting it out?
Wow, that sounds too complicated for me.
Like average, like 2%?
Oh my God, I never really calculated it that way. All I know is like what I look at, I'm like, if I have to use a calculator, I'm like, it's not good enough, right? You know, it's a good question. I need to go back and look at that, like how it changes my cap on the property, right? But you know, I never look at really cap when I'm a single family residence or something, right?
Maybe a percentage above market rate.
Yeah, so, you know, again, what I can give you an example of is like that condo, for example, in Orange. The market rents, it was 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. The market rents in that area was $1,750. And, you know, again, the first year out in Airbnb, you know, I was positively cash flowing, you know, $2,800, $3,000, $30,000. The summer hit, and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. So never again could I go back to just getting $1,750, right? And then once you systemize everything, it's incredible how less time it takes when you get good at your systems, right? And you have a good cleaner and stuff like that. Yes, and it's different for areas, different areas. Okay, so let me share something with you. A lot of my Airbnbs are in Orange. Okay, so here's something special that happened. The biggest attraction in Orange are not just the beaches, believe it or not, but it's Disneyland. Okay, that condo is near Chalk Hospital, right? And I thought we would get a lot of traveling nurses and traveling doctors. No, all Disney people. Okay, guess what? Disney is busy all year round. And here's something else that was really special. Anaheim banned it. Anaheim banned it. Because guess what? Anaheim has a huge hotel lobby, right? Anaheim banned it. You can't do Airbnb unless you live there in the house. So kind of like Pasadena, you can do it so long as you also live there. Santa Monica, same thing. Okay. The point was, I was in Orange, right? And so now everything got banned in Anaheim. Guess where they all went? Orange. So now I have many in Orange, right? Garden Grove worked as well. Yeah, just everything around there. Okay, another way to make money on Airbnb, do an experience. So they have this thing. Anyone do an experience on Airbnb? Like some of these things are so cool. $149, learn to surf like a local, all right? In Santa Monica, how cool is that? Glam and Gorge with the party queen. She's gonna take you out to the clubs in downtown LA. This one, a guided walk to the top of the Hollywood sign. Who wouldn't love to do that, right? If you were from out of town. Heck, I wanna do that. Anyone been to the Hollywood sign? $25. So here's the funny thing. You can create an experience. You can use the Airbnb platform and create an experience. Now Airbnb does take 20% of whatever you book, right? But is this free money? You already got this marketing platform. Just come up with something cool, right? Yeah.
I actually went to one in Italy, this beautiful vineyard in Tuscany. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Wow.
We helped them make lunch
Wow.
And now they're working with Airbnb to make this Tuscan home a destination.
Nice.
So they're looking at this as a much, much bigger thing than just an experience.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. How did you, I mean, are you going to just remember that forever?
So I talked to
Yeah.
everybody about it because it's a personal experience that I got in Tuscany that wasn't with a tour guide.
Right, and so much more special. You guys can create this too. We can do this in LA. Do you know how many foreigners come to LA? Oh my gosh, you can make money doing this. Okay, so I'm going to go through this really quick because I don't know how much time we have. Yeah. Okay, how to set it up. Again, website's totally robust. Just go on there, create a profile. How many of you have never been on Airbnb site? Okay, a few of you. All right. It's free to set up. Just create a profile. You just got to enter an address and start adding a description. Definitely use good, well-lit pictures. Before, in the past, Airbnb would even send photographers to your house and take pictures for free. Now they charge for it, but it's also worth it, okay, if you don't have a professional photographer in your group. Yes?
Sorry, speaking of the photos, are any of your properties going on the Airbnb Plus? Because I think they come out and do those. Are you doing Airbnb Plus?
Yeah, you know, Airbnb Plus is a whole nother thing, and there's like a huge wait list for it. Are you on Airbnb Plus?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? Everyone's like, I want to be on Airbnb. They have like these little designations you can be if you've been there a while. And so, you know, they give you, if you meet certain criteria, then you can be like a special designation. Like you can be a travel-friendly place if you have a hairdryer and an iron and provide coffee, right? Then you get a special travel designation or business traveler designation. So there's all these extra things that you can do to stand out on Airbnb. Okay, but yeah, I'm on the wait list for Plus as well. Everyone wants to be on there. Have a good description, title it properly. Again, this is all web-based, right? So they do SEO on this, right? So my stuff is close to Disney. All my descriptions say Disney or Disneyland in it, right? Because that's what people search for, right? Make sure that as a host and the people that are coming, make sure they have verifications, right? Airbnb has this thing where you have to go certain verifications, do certain verifications, like a profile picture. Give them your government ID. You don't necessarily see this, but they have to go through this verification process as a guest and you as well as a host, right? Phone number, email, references, social links. I like to make sure people have reviews, right? So I like to, you know, if they have positive reviews from before, I'll easily book them. Right? Again, we talked about this. Host fees, about 3 to 5%. Guest fee, they charge. Same booking, 6 to 12%. Experience fee, Airbnb takes 20% from your experience. The guests and the hosts are disclosed the fees before they are confirmed. Right? So if you don't like the fees, you don't have to book it. Right? Payouts are done directly to your account the day after they check in. How awesome is that? And TOT taxes, we talked about it. In some areas in LA, they'll just collect it for you, right? Or you can charge it extra. You can call it a TOT tax and charge it to your tenant, and then you make your payment directly. And again, I talked about this. It's almost impossible to double book if you're on other platforms. Okay, I spend 3 hours a week on my Airbnbs. We talked about systemization, right? Having a cleaner, doing the self-check-in, and having templated email messages, right? Oh, this is so cool. Helpful tools. How many of you have a Nest? Okay, the one thing about tenants, they don't care about your electricity bill. They'll run that AC or that heater all day long. But when you have a Nest, you can like, oh, lowering that, oh, turning that off, right? All remotely. It helps, right? Because guess who pays the bills in your Airbnb? You do, right? This little thing, can you guys see this? This is a Ring security camera. It's a floodlight. Okay, there's a camera on there. So you don't necessarily have to have a Ring on your vacation rental because no one's going to be like, oh, who's at the door, right? But I recommend one of these. It doesn't have to be Ring, but I use Rings. I set it up outside. Now, you know, there are privacy issues. You can't do it inside the house, of course, right? But I set this up outside, and so it gives me a notification whenever I have motion. So then I know they're checking in. And guess what? If you only allow 3 or 4 guests in your thing, and I'm seeing 6 people, you are nixed. You are out of there. You are canceled, and I'm keeping your reservation money because you just violated the rules, right? So, this is really, really useful. Do you have a ring? It's okay. Oh my God, it's so good because you can see everything, right? Oh yeah, we're just 2 people. Yeah, so yeah, having the camera, not in the rooms, yeah, okay. But this is good. Again, you don't have to have it inside the house. You just have one camera and you can see everyone that's coming in and out. Is that helpful, right? It's a Ring security camera. So it's like a floodlight. So it's good, like if it's dark, it'll turn on. It's like a motion sensor. It'll turn on and then it'll record. You can have it so it records automatically whenever there's motion. Cool? And it'll give you a notification. Okay, so I know when my guests check in and when they check out, even though I'm not there, right? Okay. Tips and tricks. Pictures are critical. Get good copy, a great title. They're searchable on Google, okay? If you're near attractions, make sure you list them. If you're near Universal, make sure that's in your listing, right? Because that's fast internet is the most important thing. When I first set up my Airbnbs, I thought I needed to have a TV in every room. Big mistake. Most people travel with what? Their iPads, their computers. All they want is fast internet. I realized that all you needed was one TV in the main room, so don't spend your money on the TVs, right? Just spend the money on the fast internet. That's what they want.
Would you put the keywords in the title? Like, do you put it
Yeah, in the title. In the title, yeah. And then, all throughout your thing, but yeah, make sure there's at least one of those keywords in your title, okay? Decorate, but keep it simple. Too much clutter, it hurts, all right? And it makes for better pictures when there's less stuff. I like putting fake plants in my thing because, I'm not there, right? So I can't rely on my guests to water. So fake plants actually liven up the place, and you don't have to water them. Okay, again, location.
Do you get
Yes.
cable or
Cable.
or TV?
Yes, I do get cable, just very basic cable, because most people will come with their Hulu accounts and whatever, Netflix and stuff. And just so long as you have internet, they can connect. Have a smart TV so they can connect, right? Okay. What's that? Chromecast will even work, yeah. Okay. Do big events occur? Coachella, festivals, sports, right? Advertise to those. Setup. Okay, I don't have to go through this too, but basically get 2 of everything. If you have 2 guests, make sure each guest has at least 2 towels. Does that make sense? 2 pillows. Mattress pads, definitely, please use that. Make sure they have cooking set, silverware, provide a coffee maker. A lot of people, in the past, I didn't give irons or ironing boards, and people ask for it all the time. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize people were on vacation. They wanted to have all their stuff pressed still. Okay, no problem. If you're near a beach, you can do nice things like leave them sunscreen, have beach towels in your unit. Okay, someone asked, well, what if things disappear? Again, you have a security deposit. You have $1 million home host guarantee, right? So if things disappear, you make a claim or, take their security deposit, right? And that's why it's important to keep things simple, right? Don't have too much stuff in your house so you can see what's there. I like to provide cleaning supplies because guess what? If you provide cleaning supplies, they'll actually clean. Imagine that, right? I like to give little extras like Ziploc bags, to-go coffee cups, right? So they can have some conveniences. You don't have to buy everything brand new. Hit Craigslist. Go to the garage sales. Your furniture doesn't have to be expensive, but if it's cool and stylish, it goes a long way, right? And again, I mentioned TV in the main roof is enough. Do's and don'ts. Talk to your neighbors. Trust me, we talked to a few people. You guys all know who's doing Airbnb in your neighborhood. So talk to your neighbors. Be upfront. Just say, look, here's my number. If you ever see anything wrong, give me a call. I'll make sure to fix it right away. Get them on your side, right? Talk to managers. If you're in an apartment building, I gave you that little trick. Spit on if you need to. Communication. I love telling, I get a lot of things like, hey, where's a good restaurant? Tell them that their Yelp is really effective here, right? Because, people will come from other countries and don't know about Yelp. So tell them to download the app. So whatever they're fancy, whatever restaurant they can find it and see the ratings, right? How helpful is that, right? Location is key. Leave a review. The whole Airbnb community is about reviews. So take the time to leave a review. My reviews are pretty much the same. Oh, not easy to host, communicated well, left the place clean. 5 stars or whatever, 3 stars. Or, if they never answered me, then I'd give them a 4-star rating instead of 5 on communication, right? So leave a review. Ask them to leave you a review. Your interaction with your guests is as little or as much as you want it to be. You guys get that? If you want to take them out and make them your best friends, you can. It can be cool. Meeting people from other countries is awesome. But for some of you, if you're just too busy and you just want to make the extra money, you don't have to talk to your people. Just automate it, right? In the beginning, I would leave a welcome basket. People loved it. And then I would forget. And then no one complained, right? They didn't know they were supposed to get one, right? So, you can do little things like that if that's your fancy, right? Leave them a welcome. People always appreciate it. I would leave a couple waters. When you're coming off a plane and you're traveling, it's nice to have a little snack and some water that you can get to right away. Yes?
Something that made a huge impact like this was we had a little board and to write their name on it. Because where you go, you're always a number everywhere you go. But
Yeah.
coming to the home, and I would just take 5 seconds.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Smith family.
We're glad you're here.
Oh, so nice. So nice. How awesome is that? Would that make you feel special? Very nice. And that, if you're close, definitely do it, but I can't do that.
Person doing it, I write the guest name for the next day, and then she would.
The cleaner can do it, yeah. Nice. Yeah, good. I like it. I like it. If you have any problems with your guests, I highly recommend just go through. They have a resolution center, you guys. They will never leave you hanging. Okay? Every time I had a problem, I always contacted them through the resolution center, and they resolved every problem. Okay? Even when I wanted my guests out, they did it for me. Okay? I'm sorry, say it again? Do I get bad reviews if it's the tenant's fault and I have to let them out? Believe it or not, I go through Airbnb and I don't know what kind of magic pixie dust they do, but no, they've never left a bad review. Because if they take them out, it's not my issue anymore. Okay? All right. Don'ts. Never take a payment outside of Airbnb. Sometimes we will have tenants come, they're like, hey, can I just stay an extra day? I'll just pay you on the side. And that way you can keep all your money. I don't have to pay the extra fees. You don't have to pay. Never do that. Because what happens if you take payment outside of Airbnb? All your insurance is gone, right? Just have everything on the side, up and up. Just keep it clean, right? Don't do Airbnbs on super high security condos or buildings. We already talked about this, right? Because they're going to catch you and they're going to tell you to cease and desist. Careful of the HOAs. I don't like to rent my things over 30 days. Do you know why? Yes, tenant laws. California is a blue state. The blue state, the tenant laws are more geared towards the tenants, right? So as soon as you go over that 30 days, guess what? They have tenant rights. I don't want anyone over 30 days. So if I need to kick them out, they can be kicked out. And Airbnb will do it for me if I need to, right? For some of you, it's fine. You can rent. I'm just saying, for me, I don't want to rent over 30 days because I don't want to be tenant laws. And then don't forget to do your research in the area, right? So how do you find out? If you're going to do Airbnb, find out if there's any restrictions first, right? Find out if they banned it in Santa Monica or West Hollywood before you start, right? And always know that if you're going to set up your Airbnb, it could end tomorrow. Then what are you going to do? What's your backup plan? That's why I say when you're looking to buy houses, for that maybe you just want an Airbnb, I always like to look at 50% occupancy. I always want to see that at least the market rents will make it okay, right? I don't want to just solely rely on Airbnb, okay? Is that just, some warnings, right? Okay, okay, some red flags. This is really important. And I'm way going over time, but I'm almost done. I don't like last-minute bookings. Why? There's something, unless they have a super special reason, I will listen, but I don't like last-minute bookings. Usually it's because they're trying to get away from an abusive boyfriend or something kind of creepy, and I don't want to get into the drama of it. So last-minute bookings, be very careful, and I would definitely communicate as to why they're coming in last minute. They could be good for you as the host because if you have those extra days that are kind of in the middle of a week and you can get those filled up, yeah, it could be great. But just red flag, definitely vet your guests before you accept them, right? I don't like it when they have no reviews. Okay, so if they have previous reviews, that definitely helps. But then maybe you're asking, in the same city, why the hell would you want to book my place? Why do you live in Santa Ana in your profile and you want to book my place in Orange, right? Because you're going to Disneyland? What's going on? So I ask them, oh, well, because mom and dad don't let us party in the house. Decline. They tell you the truth. They tell you the truth. I'll get to you in just a second. Parents booking for their kids, you know it's just the kids hijacking their profile. But you know what I do get? I get a lot of kids booking for their parents. I'm okay with that because a lot of the parents don't know or are scared of the online thing, right? And then, again, we kind of talked about this. You know, if you can break even regular rent, yes. If it doesn't make at least extra $1,000 than what I normally make, I won't even touch it, right? We all have to have our minimums, right? So if it doesn't make an extra $1,000, I won't even bother, right? 50% occupancy. Things to consider, you're going to pay all the utilities and the cable and all that stuff, right? Usually when you have a long-term rental, your tenants pay that. So factor that into your costs, right? If you're in a politically charged area, be prepared. You may have to take it down or hide or ask for forgiveness, right? And then enjoy the experience. Oftentimes people are so awesome. I want you to take a picture of this because I have to get off. These are resources. So if you want to do some research in a particular area, go to airdna.co. Okay, this is the logo, right? If you want someone to do all the management for you, they charge guesty.com. They charge 2 to 5% of your listing, right? They're going to answer all the questions and take care of your bookings, even find you a service, a maid service. Turnkey VR. There's someone that comes and will look at a house that you already have and say, you need to add this, this, and this, and we'll manage it for you. It's another management company. If you already have existing Airbnbs, you can pay $50 up to $250 to this guy, optimizemyairbnb.com. He'll help you optimize your listing and your heading and your title and all that to make it better so it's more visible. And then we talked about made this, all right? If you've never been on Airbnb, take a picture of this. Because if you're brand new, you'll get a $40 credit just by signing up under this. A $40. If you want $40 and you've never been on Airbnb, just sign up using this. You'll get a $40 credit. They give me credit too, which is awesome, right? But you'll get $40. All right. Is it 200? Really? Okay, I need your link. So yeah, if you sign up, you'll get this thing. I always gave you $40 to travel. Last but not least, take a picture of this, guys. This is how, if you want to connect with me, if you have any questions, I got to get off. I'm so sorry. You can reach me here. That's my email. This is my cell phone. We do our meetings in Fullerton. I have a 60-day challenge, which is a kick butt, fix, flip, wholesale class I do. It's not till next year, so I won't talk too much about it. This is our website. We meet third Wednesdays. Next month, we have June. Paige Panzarello is going to talk about non-performing notes. After that, oh, this is going to be fun. July, power real estate flipping couples. It's going to be like the dating game. It's going to be awesome. And then I know you guys just had Bruce Norris, but he's coming to our thing in August. So you guys, thank you very much. Thank you for spending extra time. I'm so sorry I went over. If you have questions, just ask me, okay? Thank you. Sorry.